Welcome to Finding Monster Right, the show about finding monsters, right?
Right.
I'm your host, Adam.
I'm your other host, Allie. That feels so good to say now.
And we are coming at you live with information about our guest, Travis.
Yes. Travis of the Kaiju Weekly Podcast. He invented the light bulb. He is as strong as 10 smaller Travises.
I will not argue. These are all true facts.
Great. And you've brought a big red topic to the table here.
Yes.
Specifically, one that is dog-shaped.
Yes. On my podcast, the Kaiju Weekly Podcast, me and my co-host have a running joke, I guess you can call it, if you want to call it a joke, where we argue over what counts as a kaiju, a giant monster, and the one that we disagree on the most is Clifford, the big red dog.
Is he not? I mean, you came to the right people.
Yeah, no, we are the only ones who could really solve this issue.
Yeah, exactly.
This episode is titled Clifford, the Big Red, but mostly friendly, Parasite.
Yep. It was originally Clifford the Big Red Parasite, and that was the one that Adam pitched. And I just said to him, no, don't be mean to Clifford.
Yeah.
Because as I was telling you guys before we started recording, I was just so happy to go back to a cartoon that I saw when I was 6-7 years old and research that for an episode instead of some horrible murder monster or something that we normally do. So thank you, Travis.
Well, I'm hopefully going to ruin your childhood then with this, because I have I don't think Clifford is as innocent as he appears to be.
Oh no.
I think there's something sinister lurking underneath.
Something that might go bump in the dark.
Yeah, something that might go oogie boogie.
What do you might say that Clifford could be a children of the night?
You're all being racist against vampires right now.
So I think you were talking specifically about that Clifford. Let's talk about Clifford as described by Wikipedia, right?
Yes.
So he's an enormous dog. He's giant, friendly, and red.
Yes.
He's got an owner named Emily, who's usually 8 years old.
Emily Elizabeth Howell.
And he has all kinds of friends that are other dogs.
Yes.
Yes.
She often rides him like a horse, because, of course.
Of course.
And the other dogs that he is friends with, I want to point out, they are normal-sized dogs.
Yes.
This is important, because this adds to something that I want to bring up later on when we get into our real discussion of this. But they are normal-sized dogs.
The page I'm looking at says that his size is inconsistent.
Yeah.
It's just generally big, I guess.
Normally about 25 feet or 7.5 meters from paws to head, which I believe is called the crop.
The crop of the Clifford.
Of the dog, if I remember my Eukanuba lore correctly.
And, but it also says here that Clifford can appear far larger. Which is frightening.
On the Clifford fan wiki, which I don't know if you've seen this in your research, Travis, but it's a trip. I'm 55 again. But
oh yeah.
It's it says, like the mythological giants of medieval legend, Clifford's size is often inconsistent. And I was like, you didn't have to take it there, but you did. It also canonizes somebody's insane fanfiction where Clifford is married to a giant eagle named Sauron. It's... When I said it was a trip, I was not kidding.
Oh no.
Yeah, the Clifford wiki is...
It's beyond fucked.
Yeah.
The important thing here is canon. Which is that, while it's highly debated among fans, the creators of the show have confirmed that Clifford can grow and shrink depending on the life force of the children around him.
Citation needed.
Yes. Now
The wording life force is pretty damning, let me say.
Yes. Now, this is the part that made me go, okay, I need to...
You need to find monster rights about this. Yes.
Yes, because this implication here is Clifford a psychic vampire feeding off the life force of the people around him, and that is why he is growing gigantic.
So our fans just learned recently about vampires and what they are and are not.
Yes. According to our noted vampire expert, Steve.
From vampirewebsite.net.
Yes. Apparently psychic vampires are not real vampires, but also I don't think Steve is a real vampire. It was a whole episode that we did.
Yeah. How would you best describe a psychic vampire, Travis?
Well, the definition that I found is a person who drains the emotional or mental energy from another person, either through abuse or through their own negativity.
Oh, so you've met my dad?
Yeah, I was reading it and I'm like, my ears are burning a little bit.
Yeah, the important word I think of that definition is drain, which is that's bad. That means that Clifford is leaving people with less energy.
Is he leaving Emily Elizabeth with less energy, though?
But, well, here's the thing. Do we know what she would normally be? I mean, she's been 8 years old for like 20 years, so maybe that's what's keeping her from growing up.
Or something else is keeping her from growing up, and Clifford has like is doubling down on this aspect of her.
Well, we can't blame the medium, okay? I hate all these Pokemon theories that are like, this is why Ash is... No, stop.
Yeah,
cartoon characters don't grow up. We can just move on from that.
Like, I really want to pull out the big bombshell theory that I have towards the end. I want to save it for later, but I have a big bombshell theory that involves Emily and the entire world of Clifford. But we can talk about Clifford as some kind of emotional parasite, life force draining being.
I think he's always portrayed as happy. Let's get that out of the way, right?
He's a dog.
That's true.
Well, no, he's not always portrayed as happy. I think in a general sense, yeah, but like sometimes he has problems, like where is the basketball? Or I don't know, I haven't seen the show in 15 years. Don't at me.
I think you might be upset sometimes. Oh no.
Oh, you Googled a lot of angry Clifford, and the best one is definitely a picture of like a very small angry Clifford.
You don't think this is the best one?
That's one with where he has a Russian hat. Hey, you ever, this is what people subscribe to our podcast for, is Google images on tape. Right.
Let's talk briefly about the TV series.
Yeah, so this was the one that we grew up with, or at least I did.
I definitely spent some time on it when I was younger. Or like when my siblings were younger.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the cast for this show? Because this is something we were talking about. This is.
It's really a who's who of our podcasts.
Yeah.
Because Clifford himself is voiced by John Ritter,
who we talked about in the Xenomorph episode.
Yeah, 8 Simple Rules. He was the dad from that episode. So he's also Clifford.
Yep.
Emily Elizabeth Howard and her mom were both voiced by Gray Delisle, who also voiced Azula and is a very prolific voice actor.
Love Gray Delisle.
She's awesome.
Yeah, but most ladies in animation have some gray in them.
It's like her and Tara Strong, and that's it.
Yeah.
Cleo's owner, Mrs. Diller, voiced by Cree Summer, who is number 5 in Kids Next Door. That one's not a podcast thing. I just like that show too.
Yeah, I'm a huge voice actor nerd, so like you're speaking my language here.
And
the fact that Kel Mitchell voices T-Bone too is so crazy.
Yeah,
that's the third connection to our podcast indirectly.
Yeah,
I have another podcast, Keenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron, where me and my brother go through every episode of Keenan and Kel.
Oh, wow, okay.
So seeing Kel there was awesome. And the episode that you watched and prepped for this.
Yeah, it's an episode where T-Bone's old friend Hamburger comes back to town, and he is voiced by Kenan Thompson.
Oh, wow.
I could see us covering this in a future episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because of, it's they do like schemes and plots in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you were saying. But yeah, no, it's a children's television show, so there's no vampiric elements, but certainly.
Well,
But
you could interpret vampiric elements, certainly, as Travis has.
well, no, I love that. I'm the tinfoil hat guy here. This is great.
Hey, no. I'm on board for Clifford being a vampire. What I'm not on board for is Clifford being a bad guy. Because as we all know, vampires aren't all bad people, right? Right?
Yeah.
Me excluded.
I don't like the implications of the theme song for the show. I rewatched the theme song on YouTube last night, and it says in the theme song that the reason why Clifford grows is because of the love that Emily has for him. So he's feeding off of her love energy and growing gigantic. Now, if he is just a dog, the fact that all of the other dogs are not gigantic either means they are not loved at all, or he is unique and not a dog and is actually an emotional parasite.
Yeah, clearly he has some properties that the other dogs do not possess.
Yeah.
I also want to say that Clifford's puppy days is bullshit.
No, it's not.
He's just a red dog then? There's nothing special about him?
No, he's a very little red dog who gets into lots of trouble and has adventures and learns lessons. Lemma. God damn it. Fuck.
Alright, I have not seen it, so I will reserve judgment until the day I do.
Good, I'm glad I yelled at you about Clifford's puppy days. That's another thing. I have never felt lower in all my life than when I was trying to pirate episodes of Clifford the Big Red Dog. But then I remember two of the things that this early 2000s children's TV series told me. One of them is that computer files are important and that sharing is good. So file sharing is like sharing a really important gift with a friend to show how much you care about them.
Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the lesson that these 50 and 60-year-old guys who were writing this show wanted kids to take away.
You wouldn't download a dog.
Alright.
I totally would download a dog.
Yeah, great point. I totally would.
You guys ever have Scrappy on your old Windows 95?
Wait, Mark Mothersbaugh was a composer for this show?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
From Devo? That's insane.
Yeah, Devo did Clifford.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Devo was the ones that wrote the theme song, or that did the theme song.
They did that and Thor Ragnarok.
But Rugrats before that, too.
Yep.
Wait a minute, Ragnarok! Fenris! Giant wolf!
Okay, hang on.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, Fenris from Norse mythology. Big dog gets into trouble.
Absolutely gets into trouble.
Is the child of Loki, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
He's chained somewhere until Ragnarok, where he will be unchained, and I believe he's supposed to eat Odin?
I'm just doing a quick search of the Fenris page for Emily Elizabeth. Nope, no mention there.
Well, shoot.
But I mean, I could see Clifford being of the kin of Fenris.
Ooh, he's descended from Fenris.
Look at this picture. Tell me that's not got some Clifford in it.
It does actually have a little bit of Clifford energy in it. Again, you can't see this, listeners, but it's a picture of Fenris who looks
or guest.
Yeah.
Oh, apologies.
Wait a minute, Adam. Scroll up to the top picture on the Fenris page on Wikipedia.
Yes.
Do you see that drawing on Fenris on that rune stone thing?
Yes.
What color?
It's a red rune stone.
It's red.
Yeah.
Wow. It's red.
And that's a little tiny Emily Elizabeth, I believe, wearing a bird costume.
That's possible.
No, this is the moving truck that they used to get him to their new house.
Oh my god, that's the ferry taking Fenris to Birdwell Island.
Oh, well, it adds up. But Travis, please, do not keep us in suspense any longer. What are the pieces of your theory that you have here?
Okay, so I was thinking, Clifford being a psychic vampire or a parasite of some kind that feeds off of the life energy of things is where my mind went immediately. But then the more research I looked into, and we talked about the Wikipedia page says that, or even the theme song says that the reason he grew gigantic was because of Emily's love.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we just had WandaVision that just finished up fairly recently.
Mm-hmm.
And
King. This is where I was thinking.
And he is red, so maybe Emily Elizabeth is the Scarlet Witch, and this is all a construct that she has created.
I was thinking something exactly like that, because also doesn't the show take place off the coast of Cape Cod, like on Birdwell Island? It's like a very New England-y kind of area.
Right.
Maybe she's descended from the witches of Salem.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, yeah, no, the WandaVision angle I really, really dig for this.
So
also, Emily, what's her middle name?
Elizabeth?
What's the name of the actor who plays Scarlet Witch?
Let's see.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Yep.
Elizabeth Olsen. Yep. It's all coming together. It's all coming together.
But,
Yeah, no.
I mean, to be fair, you could connect any white girl with any other white girl by doing that.
By using the word Elizabeth.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, no, so my two theories for Clifford is either he is some kind of parasitic life form that is feeding off of the emotional energy of the people around him, or Emily Elizabeth is the Scarlet Witch and has constructed this whole false reality where she has a giant dog. And it also explains why no one in the show ages, and everything is so cartoony.
That does add up, doesn't it?
That really does. And also, Emily Elizabeth never seems less loving of Clifford.
Right.
It doesn't look like her emotions are being sapped. Like, she doesn't have an abnormal emotional, standard of deviation.
Does Clifford ever mess up the flower garden, and she gets mad at him and he shrinks?
I don't think that ever happens. No.
Okay.
No.
Want to confirm that's true?
Yeah.
Also, she is 8, and I think she would be like, Clifford dug up the flower garden. That's incredible.
I'm surprised they don't outsource her for excavation projects and stuff like that.
Well, okay, we say that about every monster.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I mean, put this dog to work. I mean, regular dogs in the real world have jobs and things that they do and are useful to society. Why can't you have a giant dog and you're keeping him on an island and not doing anything with him?
I feel like if Clifford joined a canine unit, I feel like that would be enough to get Congress to be like, okay, we can end qualified immunity.
Yeah.
This is too much power for the police.
Well, that brings up a great point that we should let's play a little game of monster rehab.
Oh boy,
where we try and sort Clifford into society better than he currently stands. So canine unit sounds out.
I don't like that. No.
So let's see. He can after seeing
Maybe
a few
eat Odin.
Eat Odin at the end of days. He's got to do something until then.
Okay, yeah.
See, I thought that this would have been a great time for you guys to do one of your games, which was therapist, therapy animal, or needs therapy, because he could be a therapy dog.
Very easily, I would say.
Oh, this is a rare crossover of therapist, therapy animal needs therapy, and
monster rehab.
A monster rehab.
Yeah, no, that'd be a perfect position for him to fill.
But if he does have the psychic vampire thing going on,
right? If he is draining the emotional,
then that would be a terrible choice.
Yeah, yeah, that's very bad for someone that needs therapy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm. You guys, before we started recording, asked me what one of my favorite episodes of you guys' podcast was, and I completely forgot about the Billy Goats and the Trolls one, because it has my favorite line that you guys have ever said, which is, "I can't believe my therapy goat is gaslighting me." And I think that fits into here. It's like, my therapy animal is draining my emotional energy.
Yeah, no, right. You need a therapist for this therapy animal.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now, would Clifford be good as a seeing eye dog?
I was about to say, my first thought that came to mind was, I don't think he can go to all the places that a seeing eye dog can.
I don't think he can go to all the places a blind person can go to.
Right. I'm thinking about the the airport.
True.
Clifford does not belong around there.
There is a whole book about that, probably.
Yeah, of him playing with 747s and.
Wait, if there's an airport on Birdwell, why did they take the ferry? Never mind.
Yeah, well, there clearly is not.
Mm.
So, I also, to add on that briefly here, they took it feels like an imprisonment of sorts, very much like Fenris.
He's Birdwell Island.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Do you think the mayor did that casually?
I think this is really telling of whether this Clifford is a good therapist or therapy animal, because he feeds off of the emotional energy of people around him, and B, he caused his owners to abandon their life and home and livelihoods.
Oh God, he's
in the city.
He's big red baggage, is what he is.
Yes, he's a huge amount of baggage.
Well, here's the thought. Either the WandaVision theory or the psychic vampire theory is correct. What if both? What if this is like a witch and her familiar?
Ooh. That he is, summoned in a sense.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that here. Is there any other magic that Emily would gets up to through the series? I know we're not all crazy familiar.
Well, she does have a lot of friends.
that is some magic.
As we do know, friendship is magic. Yep. I've been told.
Friendship is magic. And if you have a lot of friends, I think you're a witch.
Her mom is a small business owner, so that requires a lot of magic.
Her mom also has the same voice as her. Think about that.
Ooh.
Is Emily Elizabeth a homunculus for her mother?
Oh my God. Emily Elizabeth isn't the Scarlet Witch.
Oh, you think
Carolyn Howard is the Scarlet Witch. She's the Tommy and Billy.
She's oh wow.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, her husband has no descripting factors, which makes me think he's clearly an empty being.
This isn't the Other Mother again, is it?
We might have stumbled into Other Mother territory once again.
Oh
no. We've been making that problem of I think Other Mother has become a black hole for us that we keep stumbling back into.
That's true, yeah. And also another black hole as we keep going back to our old episodes.
That's true. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
Good synergy.
Yeah.
We all heard them. Everyone here.
I think that's vertical integration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people who come to listen to this episode, from my podcast, they'll totally understand what's going on.
Yeah. They clearly have to listen to more.
Right. Well, speaking of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, intriguing. I, a distinguished listener of the Kaiju Weekly Podcast, whatever. Anyway, speaking of that, you came here with a task for us that we have so far failed to do, and that is Clifford a kaiju? What do you think, Adam?
He's big.
He's big.
So that solves the giant part of the giant monster kaiju.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He wrecks things.
He does wreck things.
And he's a problem.
Well, let's go down some of our monster criteria that we developed during the elf episode.
Okay.
So, is he a divine warning sent from the gods? I would argue that yes.
Yeah. I think... what else do you have?
Does he represent a fear of the unknown? Love is the magnitude of a young girl's love for her dog. The bounds of that are truly unknown, so I will say yes.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing that Clifford accomplishes or does that would not fit Gamera.
Yeah, not Japan, but northeastern United States, like King Kong, who is also just a giant mammal with no other distinguishing characteristics.
If Kong's a kaiju, Clifford is.
Yeah, and would you say that Kong counts as a kaiju retroactively? Because he predates Godzilla and will predate on Godzilla.
Travis?
Well, the word kaiju actually has existed since ancient Chinese times. That is the words they used to describe large, strange beasts that lived in the mountains and everything. So yeah,
I'm right here.
so from the mountains, so kaiju is definitely more expansive than just the monsters, the monster movies that we're familiar with, like Godzilla, Gamera, things like that. So yeah, I think, in my opinion, there's a whole world of kaiju out there that people, especially people like my co-host who are kaiju purists, and who have very closed minds about what is and isn't a giant monster. If you guys have heard our most recent episode, we fought over whether Jurassic Park counts as a monster movie.
He does say they're not monsters, Lex, they're just animals, but then in the third movie he does say that they're theme park monsters.
Right.
So he's gone back on his word there. Yeah.
Alan Grant says that specifically.
Something I want to point out about Clifford that we have not yet said. Just 2 years old.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's pretty normal age for a dog.
I guess so.
What normal age? Like, yes, most dogs are about 2 years old.
Okay, that did make no sense, but in my defense... No, yeah, that's about right.
They... Like, once again, I'd like to point out the Clifford character page. They have messed up the species. They've called him a giant red dog. He's a Labrador, right?
The Wikipedia page insists that he is a Vizsla.
A Vizsla?
On the franchise page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has a giant red Vizsla, which I don't see.
Oh, man.
I don't think this looks like Clifford much at all.
Would his size and properties designate a new, like, species?
Ooh.
Because if you can, like, we can join Kool-Aid Man on our roster.
I don't think it breaks the genus Canis.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Got it, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't even break Canis lupus. What we would need to ask is if Clifford can reproduce with other dogs.
Which is not a question we should ask.
But also, I feel like there's no reason to doubt it, because he was born a regular dog, possibly a psychic vampire, and Emily Elizabeth was possibly Scarlet Witched him. But I don't think that counts as a speciation event. No.
Yeah.
I will say, given the statistics for the Vizsla given on Wikipedia, where a male is about 25 inches at the shoulder and 66 pounds at the max, or 30 kilograms, I calculated on just like the back of a napkin, so don't check me on this. Clifford weighs about 77,000 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Which is far too large for a mammal's bones. And again, square cube law, we're not allowed to have fun, etc., etc.
Some extra points towards the Scarlet Witch theory, then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he's all hollow on the inside like a bird, but with magic instead of air sacs.
I will say, this Vizsla page, someone has clearly gotten to this before us. They can't do this on every dog page, do they?
What do you mean?
Oh,
the fact that they separate height and weight into dogs and bitches?
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
Hey, Adam, bitches be 21 to 24 inches. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I think we cracked this this one pretty early. Any other games you think that might be worth touching upon?
Well, I would like to, if you guys don't mind. I know it's your podcast.
Oh no, please.
I had no idea, so go ahead.
So when I was following down the rabbit hole of Clifford possibly being a psychic vampire, I found a way that if you do come across psychic vampires, whether it be dog-shaped or otherwise, you can actually repel them, because on the website Goop, which is the site, the company that is run by Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, let me turn off Safe Search.
Yeah.
It's probably smart, actually. Wasn't she really into that heliotropic, like, taint tanning thing?
Yes, we were talking about just crazy theories, and I don't think anything that we came up with today can even match what Gwyneth Paltrow has come up with, while also selling millions of dollars worth of just weird products.
Yeah, look at this thing. Why are you supposed to work with that?
It's a 6-quart Instant Pot. That might just be a pot. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
So the psychic vampire repellent, which is actually out of stock, on the website.
Oh wait,
So,
which section is this under so we can see this?
No,
I looked up psychic vampire repellent and it popped up on
I found
the
it.
website.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. This is how to use it.
Yeah, shake gently before each use. Spray around the aura to protect from psychic attack and emotional harm, but avoid contact with eyes.
Tell us on the doll where your aura is.
Yeah.
Well, it's around you, so if you spray around the aura, then you're just around you, and then it's not even on you.
Yeah.
So my favorite part of this psychic repellent, which is just a bottle of spray that you spray around you, my favorite part about this is the ingredients.
Looking at that right now.
Ooh.
Sonically tuned water.
They got a T-Rex to step near it.
Yeah, gotta go fast.
Rose water.
Why is rose water different from... Why don't you sonically tune the rose water? I gotta call Gwyneth. I could really save her some money here. She and her fucking rich robot-making boyfriend.
Grain alcohol, which means they put whiskey in this. They put moonshine in this. Sea salt, colloidal silver. I don't even know what that is. That does not sound good.
Definitely don't get it in your mouth or eyes, because if you ingest enough of that over a long enough period of time, your skin will turn blue.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, wow.
Also, speaking of the mouth and eyes thing, I've often said this about Professor Xavier in his many films and his great works. If Magneto's got the helmet on, why don't you just go through the eyes into the mind bits? And same thing here. If they're not spraying in the eyes or mouth, why not just take your vampire brain and suck up the aura through the eyes or mouth?
Yeah, entering through that way.
I think the spray kind of forms like a big shield around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like if this was sunscreen, like you would not be using it in any way.
Right.
Well, let's keep going down this list of ingredients because it's insane.
A unique and complex blend of gem elixirs, including but not limited to black tourmaline, lapis lazuli, ruby labradorite, bloodstone,
Dog stuff.
Yeah. Aqua aura, black onyx, garnet, pyrite, and numite. All of these are just the only reason I know any of these is because of Steven Universe. Mm-hmm. So these are all Steven Universe characters.
Is Bloodstone a Steven Universe character?
Actually, it is. Isn't Bloodstone the one that the Fry guy, the one that's like a real conspiracy theorist? The kid.
It's past my time, so
I think you would know the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think he calls himself Bloodstone in there when he decides he wants to join the team. Yeah. So
a couple other important ingredients here in this mix.
Sound waves. Sound waves are an important ingredient in this, and my favorite, moonlight, because. Why not? I mean,
why not sunlight?
I've seen some like gem people on Facebook, like, you know, moon charged like water.
Oh, that
right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You just
like
gotta stick it out.
I understand how that one's getting involved. I don't know how they get love in the bottle.
Yes. Now this is
the
best part. Love.
Wait a minute. Love is what makes Clifford grow.
Right, and love is an ingredient in a psychic vampire repellent. Maybe.
This vampire repellent is fake, but psychic vampires are real.
I think you just blew my mind by saying the psychic vampire repellent is fake. Like
within the context, granted, psychic vampires are real. This repellent is fake.
That just blew my mind.
Also, Reiki and Reiki-charged crystals are in here. Now, I've listened to some Ono, Ross, and Carey, some on-rack, on the Maximum Fun Network. Reiki is a form of Japanese alternative medicine, and I believe it's also the name of the practitioners of this form of alternative medicine.
So they put one of them in here.
So they put a person in here.
Well, that's where all the love come from.
Well, they love Reiki so much.
Now, I gotta say, love is one of the last ingredients on here. And a lot of things that occur on this earlier, I think, might interact with Clifford in interesting ways. Such as labradorite.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what Clifford uses to mega evolve.
Yeah, but you mentioned the colloidal silver.
Mhm.
Ingesting enough of that turns you blue.
Blue is the opposite of red.
Exactly.
So that's what keeps Clifford away.
I actually think that green is the opposite of red on the color wheel, but that's fine. That's fine.
Adam,
Yes.
what are the first 2 Pokemon games?
Let's see. So red and green.
In America, where Clifford, in America, Adam, where Clifford lives.
Red and blue in America.
Good. I'm right. Say it again.
Okay.
Ever since I became an undead creature of the night, our relationship has gotten a lot more antagonistic.
I cannot wait for the new Pokemon game. That's Pokemon Bloodstone.
Yeah, Bloodstone. I also want to say, real quick aside about the Reiki. The first picture on Google is concerns me.
Yeah. She's laying on hands.
Is she though?
Yeah.
She's almost laying on hands.
She's just using her paladin abilities.
Okay, so
in order to understand our podcast, you need to play Pokemon,
D&D,
Steven Universe, D&D,
listen to 3 other podcasts that we've mentioned,
and 17 other podcast episodes, and then you are qualified to listen to this show.
Yeah, and also visit the Goop website.
Visit the Goop website.
Yeah, you need 3 websites. 20 images from Google.
Follow us at MonsterRightPod on Twitter. You can email us at findingmonsterright on gmail.com. We are on, I was going to say Stitcher and Spreaker, and that's not our plugs. That's somebody else's plugs. I don't think we're on either of those clients.
So the important part about the psychic vampire repellent is, of course, the description. If there's a more pleasurable way to banish psychic vampires, we don't know it. So that makes me think that the love is the bait.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get these psychic vampires interested.
Oh yeah.
And then the other stuff is what turns them away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're just playing like a game of come hither, but then no, I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm. That is how vampires be.
Yeah.
And because a lot of these things dogs would be against, like sound waves.
Well, for the record, don't buy this psychic vampire repellent because it is fake, and also because psychic vampires can be good people too.
And it's sold out.
That's 3 good reasons. One of them more practical.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will have to go through and cleanse my computer just from visiting the Goop website.
Yeah, you might need to find a separate website to buy a spray to cleanse your Goop.
The smart ad stuff that I get from Google is going to be so screwed up now.
Honestly, Adam, I've fixed this before. Go on Netflix, watch 1 episode of PJ Masks. Our cousin's kid, I put an episode on in front of him in January of last year, and my Netflix queue is still fucked up.
All right, I just did a history wipe. Hopefully it won't be enough, but it'll get us started somewhere.
This also brought to you by NordVPN. Use it when visiting Goop, the website that Gwyneth Paltrow runs.
Yeah. So, is there any lines that we can draw between the Fenrir stuff and the Scarlet Witch concepts?
Oh, Loki, Mind Stone.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that was way too easy.
Yeah.
I did not.
Loki's scepter, right there.
Yeah, no, scepter makes sense.
Loki was taught magic by Freya, who was raised by witches, of which the Scarlet Witch is one.
Yeah, well, there we go. In case you tune in for future Fenrir episodes, you will not find one here.
We may. It's all connected.
Yeah. What is a birdwell?
I think it's inspired by Norman Birdwell, the author of the books.
Bridwell is his name.
Well, I guess he wanted to be humble about it. He didn't want to fuck up his SEO.
That's
very forward-thinking member of the silent generation.
Yeah. It's buy this new Amazon what do you call it? A drone delivery service. It's called the Zaybos.
I just thought of... Sorry, my mind just projected, like, 5,000 years in the future where there's, like, a giant floating stone head that's called some, like, permutation of Bezos that has been, like, Zardossed into...
Yeah, right.
Travis, have you seen Zardoz?
I have not, but I do know him.
That is my homework that I am giving to you.
Okay.
That is your homework assignment, is you have to watch Zardoz.
It has a very the bikini thing. Yeah,
Bikini Sean Connery.
Yeah, Bikini Sean Connery. I was like, I thought that's what it was.
Big stone head.
Bikini's a strong word.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I just cleared my search history. I'm not looking. I'm not looking at that.
Sean Connery in bikini.
Yeah.
With the longest ponytail that any man should have.
Yeah. Have we covered everything there is about this big dog boy?
I think we may have. Do we have any other games? I think Clifford needs a little more exercise. I think he needs to run around.
Yeah, he has to chase his tail.
I do also want to say, on reading some of these episode descriptions, Clifford's hiccups. Clifford gets a bad case of the hiccups, and that's a real problem with a dog the size of Clifford. I read that and I thought, oh, breath weapon. That's how he's going to fight Kong and Godzilla.
Yes.
I think that's also a kaiju criteria. They have to.
Yeah.
He has to be okay to fight other people.
Yeah. So if Clifford has hiccups, Clifford with hiccups bloodlusted versus Gamera, who do you think wins?
Yeah, I always my argument whenever my co-host shoots down the idea of Clifford as a kaiju is he's giant, he's magical, and he's stained with the blood of his enemies.
That rules. So, I think, Adam, you and I can say, with our expertise and our expert opinion, Clifford is a kaiju.
Yes. So you can take that to the bank.
But there's another recurring question on the Kaiju Weekly podcast that I'm familiar with.
Yes?
And that is, who are you rooting for in Kong versus Godzilla? And I propose, and Travis, I'm glad you're here for this.
Uh-oh.
Podcast feud.
Oh, no.
King Kong was episode 8 of Finding Monster Right. We cut our teeth on Skull Island as monster hunters and monster friends. I've got to root for your king and mine, Kong.
You can have a rebuttal in a moment here, but Kong is, he's like, it shown in the trailer, he has an axe.
He has an axe.
He's crafting tools. Give him like a couple more million years of evolution and he'll have a gun.
He doesn't need a million years of evolution. He's already slam dunking laser beams.
Yeah, he's doing fine as is, at least Stone Age era.
I saw him fighting a bunch of T-Rexes back in 2005, and he was like, I made the joke on the show of him just like throwing the Captain America shield around and like doing all this insane karate.
Yep.
Yeah, he can learn karate.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Yeah, Kung
Thank
Fu.
you.
Yep.
Right,
Kung
right,
Fu.
right. Yeah. Is that an established term, by the way?
I have not heard of it. I think Kung Fu might be a Donkey Kong thing.
No, did I come up with that?
No, it is Super Mario. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Travis, please.
Oh, I was gonna say we're also missing a big thing that Kong in the new movie actually uses sign language to communicate.
Oh shit!
He can talk too.
He can talk.
Yeah.
Godzilla doesn't have the best social skills.
Godzilla doesn't have the brain to body ratio.
He can form a society through communication.
Yeah.
And get a gun eventually.
He's the king. They can give Kong a gun.
Kong lives in a society.
Alright, so that's our Kong defense. Do you have any words?
I mean, that's great. That's great and all, but I mean, what is a king to a god? Godzilla is just massive powerhouse that just cannot be messed with.
Well, what is a god to a non-believer? And King Kong doesn't go to church, Travis. He's too big. He doesn't fit in God's house.
Oh man, yeah, no, you got me there. There's no church big enough for. I can't argue with that.
All right, so podcast viewed is on.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll have to resolve this after the film is out, and we're not recording before it is. which I think might be the case here.
Yeah, we should have a bet going. If Kong wins, we get something. If Godzilla wins, you get something.
Right.
You get a free ad in the middle of the show.
Yes. Yes. Loser has to do an ad.
Yeah, that works. That works.
All right. Shake on it. Did you physically shake in real life, Travis? Because we just did.
Oh, I can.
Like shiver.
Yeah,
I know you're in Mississippi, but
yeah, I'm shaking my body.
There you go. Good.
Wonderful.
Good. We have shaken on it.
All right, let's take Clifford to the. Saying that makes me feel so out left field, but let's take Clifford to the final rating place.
Aw, now I mean to Clifford.
Take Clifford to the dog park.
Yeah, like to the park.
Okay, good. Final rating place, as we've discussed,
We're not going to put Clifford down yet.
No. We're doing the incredible, irresponsible thing and let him roam free.
Hell yes.
So
listen to them, children of the night. What John Ritter-like music they make.
Yeah. What score are you thinking for Clifford?
11 out of 10. They're good dogs, Brent.
It's a good point. I think
yeah.
Clifford for me, he's big, he sucks love out of people, and he might be magic.
Yep.
So that's an 8 out of 10 in my book.
Yeah, I give him a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Tim, the new number.
Yeah, Tim. But yeah, I give him all the moonbeams and bloodstones that he wants.
All right. Well, join us next time, and we take this fight to God's house.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Travis. It's been an absolute blast.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you guys had me on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and one more time for everyone, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Kaiju Weekly, the Kaiju Weekly Pod. You can also follow me on Twitter at Kaiju Weekly. I have a magazine that me and my co-host for my podcast have put together. It's a digital magazine called Kaiju Ramen.
Ooh.
And you can find out all the information about that and the podcast at kaijuramenmagazine.com.
Sounds awesome. I hope everyone has a good night and are not terrorized by 10-foot-sized fleas.
Oh, God.
10-foot fleas. Well, if he's 25 foot.
Can we start the episode, Hofer?
Okay, I don't think the ratio between flea and dog fits when it's 10 foot, because if he's 25 foot, that's like half the size of the dog.
They're like inch fleas.
Wait, did the fleas are vampires because they drink blood? We're getting too far. We have to end the episode or we're going to be here all day.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.